This lesson is Chapter 5, Lesson 7 on pages 341 through 346. Our objective is I can add whole numbers and decimals mentally using the associative property, commutative property, and identity property. Our vocabulary is associative property of addition, commutative property of addition, identity property of addition, and question 1 is which property is also called the grouping property. Question 2, the identity property is also called the blank property.
There are three properties of addition: commutative property, associative property, and identity property. For homework, we're supposed to pick out real-life examples of how these properties work. Check mine out. The commutative property of addition says that when you change the order of the numbers being added, the sum stays the same. For example, I wanted to upload the pics from the practice concert we had in my garage last weekend and put them in an online album. I had 6 pictures on my camera, and Mia said she had 9 on hers. If Mia sends me her 9 pictures, that'll make 15 total pictures. If I send her my 6 pictures, that'll still be a total of 15 pictures. It doesn't matter which way you order it, the sum is the same. The associative property of addition states that when you change the grouping of the numbers being added, the sum stays the same. For example, let's say I just found out Sam also took 4 pictures at the concert. We could write the equation as 6 plus 9 and then add another 4 for a total of 19 pictures. But if Sam sent me his pictures before Mia sent her pictures, we'd still have a total of 19 pictures. It doesn't matter how we group the numbers. We still get the same sum in the end. The identity property of addition, sometimes called the zero property of addition, says that when you add 0 to any number, the sum will be that number. Okay, I gotta admit, this property is pretty easy. For example, I have 19 pictures from the concert after Sam and Mia sent me their pictures. I checked with RJ to see if he had any pictures, but he had none. 19 plus 0 equals 19. That leaves me with 19, the original number. Oh, that's all 3 addition properties: associative, commutative, and identity. Finding real-life examples wasn't so tough. I think we use addition all the time. We don't even realize it.
Okay, let's take a look at those properties in our book. I am on page 341, and this word problem in example 1 talks about Elijah, and he recorded the number of different movies he watched last month. And he wants to use the properties of addition to mentally find the total number of movies. So here's the numbers he watched in different genres. And we can use these properties to help us. So the commutative property we can use by knowing 5 plus 27 plus 15 is the same thing as 27 plus 5 plus 15. So the order of the numbers doesn't matter. It doesn't change what our sum is going to be. So then we can use the associative property, which is the grouping property, to help us group the numbers that we can do this more easily in our heads. So if I group 5 plus 15 together, my sum is still going to be the same as if I didn't group them above. But then I can add 5 plus 15 in my head, and I know that's 20. So then I have an easier problem. I have 27 plus 20. So I can add that in my head because I know 20 plus 20 is 40, plus 7 is 47. So when I added those together, he watched a total of 47 movies. So I'm going to use those steps again to help me add mentally. So in this case, I have 9 plus 27 plus 1. So I know the commutative property says that I can change up the order and it's not going to change my sum. So I can make 27 come first in the problem and have 27 plus 9 plus 1. And then I can use my associative property, which is our grouping property. So I like to remember that by thinking of associate means to kind of be with someone, to group with them, or to be around them. So the numbers, you can regroup them. You can make them around different numbers. So I'm going to put 9 and 1 together, grouped together, so that I could just add those mentally and know 9 plus 1 is 10. then it's easier for me to think of 27 plus 10, rather than trying to figure out 27 plus 9, then plus 1. So 27 plus 10 is 37, and that was much easier for me to do once I did the commutative and then associative property. All right, so look back at these two questions and answer them in the form. I think you can easily answer both of these questions if you look back in the video for help.